Okay, so hi everyone. So the session, as you all know, is about how reflecting on your own well-being can help you flourish at school. And we'll just like to do a quick check-in round. This is just something we do at KHDA to remove distractions or anything that could be on your mind. So I'll begin with an example, and what I'm feeling is we're starting late and I'm just trying. I know you guys have been here waiting. That's my distraction. Anyone else from the room?
I'm freezing. It's so cold in here.
You're hungry? Oh, you're fine. Okay. Hungry?
I'm a little hungry, a little cold, but I'm ready to listen.
Okay.
I guess
Sonia.
a little noise in the corridor.
Yeah, hopefully the door doesn't open again.
Just the hunger.
Yeah. And you? Nothing? Great. Okay, and if you can also mention one thing you're grateful for today, something that could have happened to you literally just before walking into this workshop, on your way driving over to the event, anything that you're grateful for. For me, it's the weather. I'm glad that it's getting a lot cooler, so, no more heat. Anyone else?
At least we reached on time, so
Yeah, that's good. Anyone else?
photos of my daughter.
Oh, it's nice.
I'm grateful to be alive. When we are there, we can do a lot.
Yeah,
I'm grateful for what works, getting to learn here.
thank you. Okay, and next we're just going to show you a video on the PERMA surveys. But before we do that, could I have a show of hands who's heard of the Adults at School Wellbeing Survey? Adults at School Wellbeing Survey. So
That's different to the Dubai Student Wellbeing Census, which is happening at the same time. That's for students. There's another survey that's focusing on the well-being of adults. Last year when we ran the Dubai Student Wellbeing Census, we had a lot of the teachers say, that's great that you're focusing on student well-being, but what about our well-being as teachers? Is that not important? So based on those conversations and based on what you guys have told us, this year we've introduced the Adults at School Wellbeing Survey. I know Sonia, we were just talking before, Sonia's from the Indian high school, and do you want to share what you've done?
Teachers have a very good feeling about the adult well-being survey, and we come to know how committed we are to our workplace and how we feel at our workplace and how the place takes care of our well-being. And it gives us certain goals, and we instantly receive a result. So that instant result is a very good part to it. You get an idea about my commitment to work and where I am at present. So it's a good.
So does that mean everybody else has not received the link? No. Okay, so the link was sent for the adults, yes. So the link actually has gone to your school principal, and it was up to the school principal to share that with their staff. If you have not received it, please come and see one of us towards the end of the session, and we can share that link with you as well. But we have a little video that we would like to show, but do we introduce ourselves?
we didn't. No, we didn't. Hi, my name's Kamaria.
I'm Nada. I work with Kamaria, and we're both at KHDA. So thank you. I know it's the end of the day, and there wasn't enough food today, so please bear with us. We'll try and make it fun and interesting. But we can play.
Hopefully the volume's working.
Wellbeing is a fundamental part of our lives. It enables us to not just survive, but thrive. To not just meet expectations, but go beyond them. In education, just as in life, the well-being of all of us depends on the well-being of each of us. So this year, we'd like all adults at school to measure their own well-being, including principals, teachers, librarians, nurses, and administrators, to improve the well-being of our community and the quality of education in Dubai.
We are not running the census because you are a teacher or you are a person. We are doing this simply because we are human beings. And these days, your well-being is extremely important to us, and your well-being is not anymore an option. Well-being is your right.
Taking place at the same time as the Dubai Student Wellbeing Census, the Adults at School Wellbeing Survey is based on the PERMA model: positive, emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, accomplishment,
with the students. It's the teacher who is involved within that classroom, so how they are feeling will obviously have an impact on our students. So that is really important for us to know that our staff are happy, and if they are not, if they would need support, maybe that is one way of us identifying if there were any issues in our school.
Principals will get a whole school wellbeing report to share with their teams and to help them plan programs to improve the wellbeing of adults for their schools even more.
عندنا مثل عربي أقول مثلا الفضل الشيء لا يعطي. إذا كنت لا أهتم بجودة حياتي ولا أهتم بنفسنا فلن أساعد الطلاب على تحسينها ولن نبني الطلاب قادرين على التحكم بجودة حياتهم. شيء جميل جدا يبدأ إنه عندما مثلا أكون مريضة ويأتي الطالب ويسألني عن صحتي أو أحضر لي وردة بنهاية الصف مثلا، كل هذه الأشياء تساعد على تحسين جودة حياتي تقدمها للطلاب والمسؤولين.
Take the Adults at School Wellbeing Survey and encourage your colleagues to take it too. At school and at work, we need to not only do well, but also be well.
Okay, so just to sum that up, the PERMA Wellbeing Survey is a tool to help adults at school better understand their own wellbeing and to be accountable for it, to take responsibility for it. And that the reason why we're doing this is because we do realize that the well-being of our students starts with the teacher themselves. It's open to all grown-ups at school, so not just the teachers and school leaders, but also the support staff, the administrative staff, the Arabic teachers, the nurses, anyone that has interaction with students. And the survey is open until the 6th of December. We've extended that window for a few more weeks just to get maximum participation from our adults at school. And it's based on the PERMA workplace survey. And we'll go through PERMA in a little while. And at the end, and Sonia can speak to this as well, at the end, once you do the survey, it takes about 10 or 15 minutes to do, you then receive a individualized report that comes back to your inbox. That you can download, and it will give you strategies for improving certain core elements of the PERMA framework. Okay.
Okay, as Nada said, if you could just actually quickly reflect on this quote. So we know that the well-being of the students and the quality of your work is affected by your own personal well-being, and it's always easy to just kind of put our well-being aside and focus on giving back. We had a session before this, and the same thing we realized in that session, I'm sure we're going to realize in this session is, teachers are extremely selfless. Extremely selfless. I think you spend maybe 90% of your lives or 90% of your time thinking about the students, thinking about someone else, another person, your work, what you're doing, that child or that parent, rather than actually thinking about your own well-being. But it's time for you guys to really stop and reflect on your own well-being and what you can do to improve that, because that is going to have a big impact on everything else in your life. So we're just going to go through the PERMA and what the PERMA pillars and what they stand for. Oh, before that, yes, the definition of well-being. This is another interesting thing because everyone has a different definition for well-being, and there's different cultural definitions of well-being as well. So a few people kind of link it to just physical health, and other people think it's just mental health. But well-being is various things. So it's general health, it's your character strengths, and it's about your happiness, it's about the different skills that you have, it's about being engaged. So, and again, I'm sure you guys can think of various other things that you will relate to well-being. If you want to shout them out to me, anything that's not on there. Go on.
Well, one of the things, so I'm no longer a teacher, but when I think of this, so much of my well-being, I apologize if I'm being indulgent thinking about myself, but is related to job satisfaction. If I'm doing a good job and the people I'm working with appreciate me, then I feel good about myself.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think this is not supposed to be a therapy session, I know. It will be for me, thank you. And I just realized that link is too strong.
Yeah. Well,
Why am I depending on others for my well-being?
yeah.
Well, it's really important, and the survey actually looks at your individual well-being, the well-being of your team and of your organisation, and that links back to those relationships, which is a core element of the PERMA framework. So having those solid and positive relationships, 100% it impacts your own well-being. No matter how happy of a person you may be, we need to have good friendships and good relationships. We don't exist in silos. We can't live alone. So that's absolutely, important.
Yep. So these are the PERMA pillars.
So I don't know, show of hands, who knows about the PERMA framework? I know Sonia does. But Professor Marty Seligman, he is the founder of positive psychology. He's the one that started this whole revolution around looking at what's working well with us, it's not just about when you have an issue, how to deal with it. It's more about you're functioning fine, but how can we function even better? So PERMA stands for, P is for positive emotion. So that's about emotions such as joy and hope and awe and love and having resilience and being creative. That is part of positive emotion. So you can see there by the picture, and it's about your mindset as well. If it's always a negative frame of mind, you're not going to be able to experience the more positive emotions. Then you've got E is for engagement. Engagement is about, have you ever been in a situation where you have felt that there is no boundary for time, where you've lost that sense of time, where you've lost that sense of place, and you're so ingrained in what you're doing and that you're being challenged at the same time? That is engagement. That's about being really engaged in the work that you're doing because, one, you're passionate about it, and two, because it gives you a sense of purpose as well. So that's engagement. Relationships is what you were talking about, Sir, as well. It's about, we don't live alone. It's about creating those positive and meaningful relationships and having that a friend, someone that you can trust, someone that you can talk to. That's really crucial for our well-being. Meaning is about that higher purpose, your calling to life, something that's above and beyond you as well. So as teachers, I think we find a lot of meaning in the work that we do when you're working with young children and trying to help shape their futures and make an impact on them. Accomplishment is about where you do your job well as a teacher, where you, I think you wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I mean, you can be a lot of things that feel that you have a sense of accomplishment where you've achieved something. And then health is something that a lot of researchers have also added to the PERMA framework, and that's about sleeping well, eating well, and moving regularly, which all these factors, and research has shown, helps improve our overall happiness, satisfaction in life, and also just well-being is about doing well and feeling good and having the resources to navigate your way through life's highs and lows. So that's the PERMA model, and that's what underpins the Adults at School Wellbeing Survey.
And I just wanted to say, with what you were saying, it's under meaning in a way, because you're talking about you find your meaning from actually hearing back from your colleagues or people that you're working with. So the meaning comes from your work and what you do, and that's obviously a very important one as well. It's not just the relationships, and it's slightly linked to accomplishment as well in a way. Okay, so with a partner or in groups, I guess, because we don't really have. Do we have? Yeah, just one more person. You guys can work as a free if you want. Can you discuss what you currently do on your own self, at least one thing that's under any of the pillars that you currently do? So out of any one of these, which one would you say you're doing well at the moment? Hi guys. Does anyone want to shout out what they worked on out of these pillars?
Health. I've started exercising, so that's my
I'm glad you said health. That was one that was missing and is always missing. So I'm glad yours is health. It's missing, right? Anyone else?
We didn't find anything to say about health.
Yeah. I know.
Everything's unhealthy.
Everything's unhealthy. Yeah.
It doesn't, you know, and through the survey when you do it, and if you do score low in health, you will get some strategies to help you focus on your health.
Yeah.
But there's small steps. It's not like go join a gym and take out a year annual membership. It will give you specific small step, you know, achievable goals that you can actually do. You know, park your car far from the main entrance of the supermarket, for example, and walk that way, or you will get really realistic goals, and yeah, just to get yourself. They're not unrealistic, and this is the beauty of this survey.
I've been working on positive emotions. So basically, it's a lot to do with when there are people you are finding it a little difficult, they're not compatible. So how we can reflect and how we can change the situation by, working on our own selves and having a one-to-one session with people and working on positive emotions. So sometimes it is the resistance that is the block. So if we remove that resistance, how we can allow positivity to come there.
So we'll just go to the next one.
Okay, so now we just worked on our own personal well-being. We all belong to an organisation or a school. We'll go back to the slide. So if we go back to that, what can you introduce in your workplace at your school to help dial up these pillars within your organisation? So if you feel in your organisation relationships might be quite low, that people are feeling disconnected, what are some ideas do you think that you could bring into your school environment to help build that? So maybe just discuss on your tables again, or if you two would like to join these two lovely ladies over here, if you wanted a bit more of a discussion. So we'll just give you about 5 minutes and then we'll share some feedback.
Hi guys. Hi guys, I'm sure you're all having extremely interesting conversations. I know I had some interesting conversations over here, but we have to wrap up. Would anyone like to share anything?
Great session. Very, very interesting.
Anyone else? Are we going to start working on our health?
To hear, what you said, where you're smiling. So I think that's very, very important at times.
Yeah, so we had a discussion here about greeting everyone when they come in the morning, and that's very important just to kind of create that positive, yeah. And the principal always says to wear your smile. So, anything else you'd like to add? So, we've done that.
I'd like to end with this. A lot of us, especially people within the education world and within school environments, we're very tough on ourselves. And we are always worried about the students, the parents, the principals, and we think of ourselves last. And we're very, very hard on ourselves. So this is just a note for all of you and for all of us, just to be kind to yourself. Yes, there will be bad days, but there are also good days. And to create people that around you, have a few friends around you, someone that you can talk to. But also, don't be tough on yourself. You're all wonderful. Write a note to yourself every morning. And I know I have a few friends that do this, and I sometimes do it. I haven't told you, but I have a little note in my pocket sometimes when I am feeling down about myself. I pull it out, and it's a note that I've written to myself that says, you are great, you have great qualities about you. People like you. So I've got a little note in my pocket, especially when I come to events like this and I have to speak in front of people. But it's something that you can pull out and read to yourself, just to remind yourself that you are who you are, and to be kind. So that's what we'd like to end with, and we hope that you will go back to your schools and ask your school principal about the Adults at School Wellbeing Survey. We encourage you to take it. Someone said, is it compulsory? No, nothing is compulsory. we feel that it will be of benefit to you to take it. You'll learn something about yourself. You'll spend 10 minutes just purely on you and reflecting on your last week and where you are in terms of your well-being. So that's it from me.
Yep. The health one, if anyone's not able to sleep, I heard this, like we had a workshop with some psychiatrists, and I've been using this, and it's actually really helpful. So so half an hour before sleeping, or an hour before sleeping, I try like to dim every single light in my entire house, or put only yellow lights, so no white light. So if I know I sleep at 10, by 9 p.m. the entire house goes yellow or like really dim. And my husband's always like ruining this, turning on the main lights. But I've been trying to do this just to get the mind to start relaxing. And another thing is not being on your phone before sleeping. I have a habit of checking my emails before sleeping. So I'll check my emails for half an hour. Before you know it, it's an hour. Before you know it, I'm sleeping past 11. So it's just getting into a habit to not look at that white screen, your phones, your tablets, and actually because I'm just sharing this because it's really worked. Like for me, it's worked. So if you guys want to try it, or if you want to read, pick up a book instead. And yeah, just start using only yellow lights before sleeping. Thank you. Thank you, guys.